Don't let Nigeria happen to you.
Should I go or should I stay?
Where are you going? Where are you staying?
That is the question for today. Do you want to Japa or do you want to RAPA? You understand? Japa is basically leaving Nigeria. RAPA is living wherever you are
and going back to Nigeria.
That's the topic for today. So don't go away. Don't go anywhere. My name is Titi Jacobs and this is TJ's World Entertainment and
I'm Jerry Crenso. Glad to have you on board.
Yes.
Now the question she's posed is there any reason why you want to stay in Nigeria, or do you have every reason to leave Nigeria?
In Nigeria. And before we continue, I'd like you to picture something. Imagine living in a country where you feel completely frustrated by your government's efforts and feel absolutely no way out. What do? Well, for most Nigerians, they decide to Japa, the Yoruba word for run. And so huge is this problem that recently elected President Tinubu asked people in the diaspora in the US to come back home and forget the frustrations of the previous government. But is this enough to allow the young people here to remain?
Well, I left.
And I left too.
Given a choice, if you were to send me back to Nigeria right now, what would I do? I will leave again.
Yes, I would go back, try and do something, but I don't think I would be able to live in Nigeria.
You see, the reason people are actually leaving Nigeria, right, is because the government of our country has woefully failed the people.
Not just the government, the people themselves.
How do you mean?
Well, what I mean is, even the people, because we keep blaming just the government. You understand? The people are the government. Apart from you're talking about politicians.
Yeah,
we are talking.
See, it's all well and good when you look at it from that,
you have to look at it
rhetoric
from that
point of view.
Yeah.
That the people are the government.
Yes.
In the African setting, the people are not the government.
No, we're not talking about democracy because there's nothing like democracy.
So the people there are the government.
When I say the people are the government, I don't mean it in terms of democracy. We all know that in Nigeria, the politicians own the country.
That has happened over the last few years under this administration is that perhaps more than in a long time, I'm not sure when was the last time we saw Nigerians going out of this country and wanting to leave in droves. They do. The Japa syndrome is so high. I mean, just in one country alone, in the first 6 or 7 months of this year, we're seeing almost 70,000 Nigerians left for the United Kingdom. It's so bad that an average Nigerian wants to leave for other climes.
Well, I'm talking about you and I, like people who are actually living there. They also contribute to the moral decadence in the country.
No, I think what drives the moral decadence in the country is the political elite. The political elite don't give a damn about the people in the country. Because when I went to Balogun in Lagos and I saw how hard Nigerians work on a day-to-day basis, my heart bleeds.
I know, I'm not disputing that. But what I mean by the moral decadence, okay, I'll give you an example. I was watching a program where a student came out from one of the universities to say they study so hard.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
They study so hard to get their grades. But there are some of the students within the school, you understand, they don't attend lectures, they don't come around, and they
pay the lecturers?
They get
Money. Where did they want us to see 200 plus for school fees? 25,000 naira to 200 plus for school fees. When they want to see that? Even if I'm doing work myself, I don't understand why they cannot listen to us. We don't have such amount. Most of us, our parents are not catering for us. We struggle life for ourselves. Did they want the board to drop out? I cannot do this.
And they get good grades.
So that's what I mean by the people too.
No, I disagree with you.
Why?
It still boils down to the government in the sense that, you see, when you create an enabling environment for people to thrive, there will be no need. You see, what
It's
this,
not
these
just about
universities,
money.
but these universities are government institutions as well.
Yeah, I know,
right?
but it's not all about
Do you
money.
think it will happen here in the diaspora?
What?
For students not to study and pay lecturers to give them grades?
Of course not.
Why not?
It will not happen here because there are rules.
There are
And,
rules.
if
And
you
the rules
flaunt
are set
the
by who?
rules-
The government.
Yes, but if you flaunt those rules,
You
then
lose.
you'll be punished.
Yeah. So
You understand?
So
But
which
in
means the government has not provided that enabling environment, that environment of the check and balance system, that environment where if you do something wrong, you get punished. It's not been provided for the people. So that vacuum, and nature actually abhors vacuum. So people will now step into the vacuum and abuse the system.
We know that. I'm not disputing that. You just said people. You just said people.
Yes.
You understand. The fact that there is no enabling society, there's no the government is not providing that, does not make you a bad egg. It doesn't make you
Really?
a lecturer that goes after young girls.
How much
who
does
are-
a lecturer get paid?
What has that got to do with a lecturer who wants to sleep with a student?
I'd rather fail than do such a thing.
Better. You will stay an extra 2 years. Then your eyes will be cleared.
Student.
Agreed.
So I'm
How
saying
much
the
does a
people-
lecturer get paid in Nigeria?
Now we're not saying the same thing.
No. I mean,
We're
these are some of the reasons. You see, there will always be bad people, right? There will always be people who will take advantage of situations. But whereas you take the advantage of that situation and you get punished, you will not repeat it again, would you?
That's what we're saying. It's still the people, they take advantage. Why do you take
Look,
advantage?
listen, take for instance, in my country, Nigeria, we are the second largest producers of oil in Africa after Angola. And we're the 15th in the world. So it's not as though there's no money in the world to put, or in Nigeria, to put that infrastructure in place. When Nigerians were riding Toyota Crown, Toyota Cressida, and Nissan, all these top cars,
Yes.
right? The Chinese people were riding bicycles and walking, right? Today, China is a force to be reckoned with.
China
in the world.
has bought practically half of Nigeria as we
When
speak.
when Nigeria got our independence in 1960, by that time Dubai was a fishing village. Today, Nigerians are rushing in droves to go to Dubai. You know why? Because the people in Dubai have a vision for their country.
Yeah, but-
Our political elites don't have a vision for our country.
But we already know that the politicians are the ones who are
So what are we doing?
the country. We are talking about, do you want to stay?
I
Do you want to
I
go?
won't stay in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Would you stay?
No, I wouldn't. But that does not mean that we are propagating that people should leave the country.
Obviously not.
That's not what we're saying. Even if people leave, they can always do something with their lives and go back to invest. But who do you invest with? Because even if you bring
your certificate and your knowledge
no,
from
if
here.
you bring your knowledge and your skills back home,
Yes.
there will be somebody there
Somebody
that will
who-
steal it.
If they don't steal it, they'll torpedo
They
your
will,
brain. Now, the question
will
I ask,
frustrate you in such a... I've seen some Nigerians here in the diaspora who decided, you know what, I've done enough. They've built their homes back home. Let me go back now. Because here, we all know that in the diaspora, we work and work and work. But the beauty of you working in this place is, if you work hard,
you get
you
money.
will live
you
well.
get well.
You will live very, very well.
Yeah.
They have infrastructure, they have everything. If you're a hard worker, you will get paid for what you're doing and you will live well. These people felt that they were ready, they had enough money, they've paid their dues, and they built a property, they built a house in Nigeria, they took their things and went back home. I'll tell you, 5 years after
They ran
back. Why?
You remember the woman who built an hotel, and then she went back to Nigeria. Her manager actually connived with some people and they murdered the woman.
You're talking about families in Nigeria. I've seen a girl, a lady, whose mother, not outsider, she was sending money to her mom.
And they would never build the property.
The house, and the mother was sending pictures pictures of how the
house was
being
progressing.
developed, progressing, and everything. When the girl said, I'm coming back home, the mother planned. The mother planned for her to be executed, to be killed. Unfortunately, one of the people that were meant to kill her then discovered this girl was my classmate.
Yes.
It was the one that actually said, look, listen, don't go back home. Your mom has asked us to kill you. You need to take the next available flight back to the UK.
Now, I the question I ask is this. We, as a people, right, there are a whole lot of us who would rather people stay in Nigeria and make it work. But how do you stay in a place where you ask your government? Now, let's. I mean, for your comments, I would really love this.
Yes, please.
What actually does the Nigerian government provide for its people?
No.
Electricity, you get your own generator.
Yeah.
Water, you get your own borehole.
Yeah.
Security, you get your own malam. Hospital, you go to a private hospital. School, your children, you send them to a private school.
Because the public school, you can't go. It's not even safe. They kidnap children. They kidnap people. Why is that country so
messed up?
Messed up. It is.
Instead, these people will steal the money, and they're stealing money. Now, you see, there was a time when you steal million, who will look at you, wow. You steal billion, they are now stealing billion, and that billion will not stay 1 billion. I mean, in hundreds of billions.
Remember, I got to a stage where people were saying that because the older generations,
yes,
the older people were the ones doing it. You understand? Get rid of them.
Get the young ones to come in.
Look at the young ones. Are they not stealing?
Yeah, below.
That one took 1 trillion.
80 billion.
Oh no, it was 80 billion.
80 billion.
80 billion. It's the other one that took 1 trillion.
1 trillion, yes.
You understand? From people, how are you going to spend that money? What conscience do you have?
And you expect people not to japa. If I gave you 1 billion, right, and you spend 1 million every year, every month. Every month, 1 million every month. You will spend 83 years before you can finish 1 billion. Now tell me, what are you going to do with 80 billion? These are money meant for you to use to set up the country so that people don't run away anymore.
Yes.
And our children are running away. You see, they are here. They're here in the diaspora. Some of them have come only to realize that things are not as rosy as they thought it was going to be.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
What do you do in Canada?
Medical doctor.
Do you have any regrets coming to Canada?
At the beginning, I had a regret. But the reason why my regrets were very limited was because I knew what I was going into. I knew it was going to be, there were going to be challenges. Yeah. But, the unemployment rate, the housing, the discriminations, sometimes you don't prepare for some of these things. Even if you knew theoretically that you're going to face them, when they hit you, then you know that it's real.
Yes, some of them are sleeping rough. Some of them are stuck here and they can't go back to Nigeria.
They can't because of the shame and ignominy.
And some of them don't even have the money.
Yes.
Once again, Nigeria has happened to them.
Yes.
Because when you're stuck abroad, your first port of call should be the embassy of your country.
No.
Who will now send you back to your country?
No.
So what are we talking about?
You understand? Nigeria can happen to you twice. In your country and even abroad. You understand? So who do you run to? Who do you run to? People are jackpying. Those who are jackpying, like Mr. Magic said, some of them are actually sleeping rough here.
Yes.
You understand?
It's not easy. Some are begging.
Yes. If you see them, they're sleeping in petrol stations and everything. All those ones that came with their COS or something, it's crazy. They don't have jobs, they don't have where to stay.
But do you blame them?
They can't go back home because of the shame.
But apart from the shame, some of them are willing to go back home, but they don't really have the money. And they can't go to the embassy and for the embassy to repatriate
to help them, to send them back.
Whereas, if they were a British citizen, American citizen, Portuguese, or anywhere, somewhere in Africa, who is stranded,
They'll bring you back.
The first port of call is to go to the embassy
and
the embassy will bring you back. So how come the Nigerian embassies all over the world are not helping these guys? I know it's not easy. No, it's not easy to live in Nigeria because the system is coming at you. I asked my driver to just park so I can collect some money, right? To go to the, so we stop at the POS to collect some money. I move forward, not less than 10 years. These guys came from nowhere. They said they are working for the Lagos state government. Oh, I shouldn't stop there and blah, blah. Before we go, they started struggling with my driver, took the key, got into my car. I had to pay them 50,000 naira for them to release my car.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Oh, really?
Paying them money is actually encouraging them.
Because the car they impound my car, took it to their compound, and they were telling, and I have things to do. They were telling me they're going to lock the car. They take the car to Alausa. Before I get the car, it's going to cost me about 200 and something thousand.
Okay, so you just did, and that's why they continue to do what they do.
Because the system has allowed them to do that.
Yes.
Over here, if I stop my car in an unlawful place, they'll just give me a ticket and ask me to go and pay.
Go and pay for it. You understand? But that's not the way the country is. Look, we are not saying that. We're not encouraging people to japa. But whoever wants to japa, you shouldn't stop them. You understand? Because the country is not conducive. The country does not encourage you to want to stay there, to want to do anything. Some of us go home. We go home, spend 2 weeks or probably at most a month, and we come back.
Yes.
You understand? And even when we go there, we get disgusted at the way people are begging.
I mean, why wouldn't people beg? A soldier who puts his life on the line and is likely to pay the ultimate price is paid 50,000 naira.
How much is 50,000 naira a month to feed the family?
It's about 50,000 naira is about 28, 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? A doctor is paid 250,000 or 60,000 a month. How much is that?
How much is that?
Less than 100 pounds.
And you'll be surprised that that doctor, because he's a medical doctor in Nigeria, you would be surprised to know how many family members
are hanging on to him.
Hanging on to him because of his profession. Now he's a doctor.
And the thing is that some of the professions people go into in Nigeria, they don't go because they have a passion for it.
Yes.
They go because your father said you must be a lawyer.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you must be a doctor.
Yes.
Oh, because is that name attached to you?
To you.
Whereas here you got to have affinity for wanting to care for people.
Yes.
Before you can become a doctor or
yes.
a nurse.
You have to have empathy. You have to be able to look. If somebody dies here, if a doctor loses a patient in this country,
they go to pieces. They go to pieces.
They go to pieces. They will break down. In Nigeria, the doctor will just come out and say, sorry, the person is dead. Then the doctor moves on to the next person.
Because the one doctor...
They're overworked.
Is I think, attached to almost 3,000 to 4,000 patients in Nigeria.
Your industry, medicine, is one of the worst affected by Japa, at least from the reports that we're hearing. Tell us a little bit about that. Are you seeing an impact?
Almost 90% of the people I went to school with have left the country. Wow. There's something about being a medical doctor that Nigeria is really failing at. If you go to other countries, Western countries, there's this huge amount of respect, and there's a care that's given to medical doctors that we do not have here. The fee is very bad, the living conditions very bad, and if you break down what the government is giving to the doctors in the country here, it's really bad. I have a lot of hope for the new regime, hoping that things will change for sure. I'm also hoping that my colleagues will also come back to the country when they've developed themselves and all that. But most people just want to run. If you're a doctor, there's no reason for you to be in Nigeria. That is what everybody says.
I was under the impression that maybe 100, but we watched the program where the doctor actually said
4,000.
4,000. How can you give 4,000
to one person?
To one person.
How does it give them quality time?
Yes, there'll be no quality time.
No quality treatment.
Anyway, what we're trying to say is if you want to japa, I'm not stopping you from japaing. You understand?
And we will say to the government, do something to stop so that people will our children, our future. Do something that we don't have that brain drain. We train these people and then they come out of the country to come and use what we have used our money to train them for somebody else. And it's because you are not doing what you ought to do as a government for the people.
Okay, in terms of saying Japa, you know, we're Nigerians and we're here. You may feel that we are privileged. When you come here, don't think you're going to just come and sit down. You have to work.
You got to work.
You will work. You understand? But it's commensurate to the money that you will get will be commensurate to the amount of work you're doing. Yeah. So like when you are in Nigeria,
and you can work in Nigeria,
and you won't even get paid.
They won't get paid for months on end. Your employers think they're doing you a favor by employing you, and they don't pay you.
So it's not that we're asking people to leave the country because we're patriotic, but we need you to know, the government to know, that the reason why people are jackpying, like they say,
is because you are not doing your job.
Not doing what you're supposed to do. But please turn the place around, and you see people come back home.
And we can.
I was told that Tinubu said that people should start coming back home. To do what?
To do what?
There's no infrastructure. There's no security. There's no light. There's nothing.
No water.
No water. What are people going to come back to do? Make it that way, and then people will come back.
If I leave the studio now and I walk within how many meters, there's a cash point.
Yes.
Where I live, I have to walk for almost 10-15 minutes to get to a cash point. Short of that, you go to a POS operator who will not give you money, and then you give them a particular commission for them giving you the money.
Can you imagine?
I have had the occasion where I've gone to 4-5 banks, right, over the weekend, and there's not a single money in the ATMs. So eventually you go back to the POS guys
that's charging you
money. So we're using money to buy money.
You understand? Please, we're imploring you, the government, Tinubu, and
all the guys, the political elite. There. You see, the thing is, they enjoy you coming to beg them for money. They say, if you teach a man how to fish, you fed him forever. In Nigeria, the political elites don't want to teach you how to fish. They want you to come to their house every morning, babao, ranka dede, then you give them a little bait, and they go and come back over and over again.
Okay. I want to be able to, encourage my children to come back to Nigeria, to come and do stuff. I'm too old to say if I come, I just want to come and...
On holiday.
On holidays and everything. Because I know the difference. I've lived in Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria for over 30 years before moving here. So I know the difference, and I know the benefits that you get when you go abroad. And I know the benefits that the service you get when you're in Nigeria. But all in all, it's not that some people are not making it. But it's a select few that are quite comfortable in Nigeria. You understand?
Are the ones
maybe
enjoying Nigeria?
And they're the ones that are enjoying Nigeria, and they're the privileged ones that will always say to me, "Why are you going anywhere? Come and stay here."
In the diaspora here, we don't care who you are, what you are, where you come from.
Doesn't matter who you are.
You put it in,
you get it. What you put in is what you get. You understand? There's no eye service here. You understand? That doesn't mean that there's no discrimination or there's no racism. It's everywhere. Even in Nigeria.
There's tribalism.
There's tribalism.
Which is even worse. Because you are black, I'm black. Because you are Igbo, and I'm Yoruba, I'm not discriminating against you. It hurts more than if a white man discriminates against me.
You. And even here, there's discrimination. But if you mind your business, if you do things right, you will not fall victim to such discriminations. So please, jackpas, those ones to jackpa, just make sure that you don't jackpa the way some people are jackpaing and going on the sea and dying there. If you want to jackpa, do it the right way. Go to the embassy, get your visa, know what you are coming to do here. Don't jackpa and come here and start begging. Don't jackpa and come here and start, littering the streets and
sleeping
rough. It's not worth it. But jackpa and make sure that you know what you have come here to do.
The thing, the irony of the whole thing is this: the children we are having here, they're desperate. They want to go to Nigeria. To go to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to say to that. May Nigeria never happen to them.
Yes, amen, amen. But don't let Nigeria happen to you twice. So if you jackpa, know the reason why you're doing it and plan yourself very well before you come to anywhere in the diaspora.
Your comments?
Please like, share.
Looking forward to them.
And make your comments. If you think that we're too harsh, if you feel that yes, we are right, please.
And then the notification.
Yes. Yeah, hit the bell.
You know, we love you, we love our country, but it's in the same breath that whatever we think is wrong, that needs to be addressed.
Yes.
We will say it.
Yes.
No matter whose ox is God.
God. Yes.
We will say it.
Yes.
It's because we love you.
That's why
and we love our
this.
country. That's why we're doing this. So we'll see you again another time.
Yes, take care. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
This is
make comments.
TJ's World Entertainment.
I'm Titi Jacobs.
I'm Jerry Crenshaw, Mr. Magic.
We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Psych! Japa, Japa, Japa,